Hola, buenos días. Bienvenidos a la clase de Español 3. Vamos a empezar con oración. Oremos. Padre Santo, te damos gracias por este día que nos has dado. Gracias por tu amor y tu misericordia en nuestras vidas. Ayuda a los estudiantes hoy a aprender muy bien los imperativos. Ayuda a los estudiantes este fin de semana a glorificarte en todo lo que hacen. Te lo pedimos en el nombre de Jesús. Amén. Ahora otra vez vamos a practicar Salmo 100, versículos 1 y 2. ¿Están listos? Cantad alegres a Dios, habitantes de toda la tierra. Servid a Jehová con alegría. Venid ante su presencia con regocijo. Vamos a empezar con Drew. Go ahead, Drew.
Salmo 100. Cantad alegres a Dios, habitantes de toda la tierra. Servid a Jehová con alegría. Venid ante su presencia con regocijo.
Muy bien, gracias. Ahora, Kiari, ¿puedes decir los versículos?
Salmo 100, versículos 1 y 2. Cantad alegres a Dios, habitantes de toda la tierra. Servid a Jehová con alegría. Venid ante su presencia con regocijo.
Regocijo. Fantástico, gracias. Ahora tenemos algo especial. Feliz cumpleaños a Daniel Campen. Espero que tengas un buen día. Feliz cumpleaños. Ahora vamos a hablar acerca de los imperativos otra vez. ¿Quién nos puede decir cómo se forma un imperativo? ¿Cómo se forma un mandato imperativo? Puedes usar imperativo o mandato. Significan la misma cosa. ¿Cómo se forma el imperativo? Claire.
Go to the O, take off the O, and add the opposite ending.
That is exactly correct. What is the opposite ending? What does that mean? Go to the yo, take off the O, add the opposite ending. What's the opposite ending? Justin?
If it's like an AR verb, you'd add E or emos or S or N or something like that. But if it's an ER-IR verb, you add A or A-N or something like that.
Okay, or something like that. You got it right. That was exactly what it was. That's what it was. AR verbs will take the endings for ER-IR verbs, basically, or something like that. I'm just kidding. ER-IR verbs will take the endings for the AR verbs. And I showed you a list yesterday what the opposite endings are. AR verbs, so tenemos es. This is a list of the endings for, the first one is the usted, the second one ustedes, third nosotros, fourth the tú commands. And we also have a vosotros command, and we obviously don't have a yo command. I don't know if you'd really thought about that before, but we don't in the first person singular form command something. If you want to give yourself a command, which that's interesting, but you'd use the tú command for yourself. So, tenemos es. These are for the AR verbs, los verbos AR. ER y ER. Here we go. A, an, amos, as. These are typical endings for AR verbs. So, ER y ER. That is what is meant by the opposite endings. And Justin, just so you know, I'm just joking with you. That sounds like something Dr. Cates would do. If I say something to him and say, like, so did it and like, he gets on me about that. So Anyway, I was just joking, I apologize. Let's take a look at the verb hablar. The verb hablar. Go to the yo, take off the o, add the opposite ending. So I show you the yo form just to say that the verb that's conjugated here is in the yo form. Yo hablo, yo hablo. You are, of course, not using yo, you're not using first person singular when you're giving the command, the usted command. I just put that in there to show you that it is the yo form of the verb. So go to the yo form of the present tense. Quite la o de la forma yo del presente. So we're left with this as our stem. Add the opposite ending. Well, since we see it's an AR verb, we will add the endings that are typical of ER-IR verbs. And for the usted form, that typical ending would be the letter E. That will then become our usted command. Hable. If you were to speak to someone in authority, if you were to speak to a teacher, if you were to meet someone for the first time and you don't know what form of the verb you should use with them, usted is the safe way to go. So you could say, hable usted de whatever. Whatever it is that you want the person to speak about, hable is what you can use. You can use usted after, but you don't have to. So I may say it sometimes, I may not. Hable usted acerca de tu testimonio en Jesucristo, something like that. So hable would be the way to go. So that is what is meant by the opposite ending. Here are the two examples then. Go to the yo. I just want to show you that step. You take off the O, the actual letter O from the word, adding the opposite ending. The endings which are typical of, in this case, ER-IR verbs. Okay, let's take a look now at the imperativo for ustedes. It's very simple. There's only one letter added to what we just saw. For hablar, we had hable. We'll simply add an N to that and we have the plural form. So we'll follow the same pattern. Go to the yo, take off the o, add the opposite ending. O en español, quite la o de la forma yo del presente. Añada la en a los verbos AR o la an a los verbos ER, e y R. And I know that's really, go to the yo, take off the o, add the opposite ending. That's what this is saying here. But doesn't it sound much more fun in Spanish? Añada la en a los verbos AR. Anyway, you get the point. So let's do that. Por ejemplo, vamos a usar otra vez el verbo hablar. Hablar. Go to the yo. Let's do that. Take off the o. Ta-da! We're left with the same thing we had before. Add the opposite ending. Do-do-do-do. And here we have it. Hablen. Hablen ustedes. Because normally, verbs that end in ER or IR end in EN. And if we're adding the opposite ending, it's an AR verb, we want to use those endings from the ER-IR list. So hablen, hablen ustedes. So here we have our steps. Yo hablo, quite la o, ahora tenemos hablen. ¿Tienen preguntas? ¿Todos entienden? If you say, I know for sure what the opposite ending is, I understand that completely, go ahead and press your signal buttons. I see what you mean by the opposite ending, Mrs. Saldivar. And for the ustedes commands, the ones that I showed you, or usted and ustedes, it will be these. For AR verbs, we're using the top two. The first one is for usted, so this would be used with an adult, authority, etc. This is for ustedes. When you're referring to you all, these are the verbs, this is the form of the verb that I use with you because I'm referring to more than one person, all of you. And this would be the formal all of you. The other, if we were to say the y'all form, that would be the vosotros, but that's only used in the country of Spain. Okay, the other 39% of you, I need to hear questions from you. What about the opposite ending are you having some difficulty with? 39% is a good number if you're saying, I don't understand what the opposite ending is. So those of you who do not understand, what are your questions? Only 61% said, yes, I understand very definitely what the opposite endings refer to. Okay, so the 39% that's not asking a question, between now and the quiz, you need to find out what those opposite endings are. Let me know if you need some help. Ahora vamos a practicar con los imperativos. You're going to use the verb given, estudiar, and put it in the appropriate command. Usted and ustedes. I'll have the same person do each one, since for ustedes, all we have is an additional letter added. So you'll start with study the map to someone when you would give a formal command, usted, just to one person, and then ustedes if you're going to refer to all of you. So when we get to our next map, because we'll have another map quiz, I will say to you, I could say to you, this command that one of you will give me, the ustedes form. So let's go ahead and get both of those, and we'll begin with, how about Whitney?
Estudia el mapa. Estudié el mapa.
Okay, estudia el mapa would actually be the tu command. So the usted command will take the opposite ending. You gave that to me though, secondly. The two ones that you gave, the second one was an usted. Does that make sense, Whitney?
Estudié and estudien.
Excelente. Estudie el mapa, estudien el mapa. La diferencia es la letra N. Usted estudie. And if you're going to actually give a command, the usted would come back here. I just have these listed over here so you know which command I'm looking for. Did you catch that? Let me say that one more time. If you're going to give the command, estudie usted el mapa, if you were actually going to say usted, you, formal, it would come after the command. So you could say, estudie el mapa, or estudie usted el mapa. Why would you use both if you know it's an usted command? For clarification, for emphasis. That would be why. Estudie or estudien. The only difference is the letter N. Número dos, we have poner. If you were to tell someone, set the table, or a group of people, set the table. ¿Cómo se forma el mandato? Lauren. Are you hearing that noise too? Okay, I think the alien ship has landed. That's what it sounded like. Whew, okay. I hope everything's okay over there. I'm trusting it is. It's just a weirdism of the phone. Let's try Ryan. Set the table. Ryan?
Would it be poner and ponan?
Okay, it's pretty close. What's the yo form of poner?
Puedo, so pueda and puedan.
Oops, that's from poder. Getting closer.
Oh, ponga, sorry. So it'd be ponga and pongan.
Excelente. Is Justin mad at me in any way?
No, he's perfectly fine.
Okay, good. I'm just checking. Because I like to joke around, but I don't want to come across as being mean. But anyway, if you know me, I like to joke, but I just didn't want to make sure. I wanted to make sure Justin wasn't upset. I was joking with him. So, usted ponga, and then ustedes form pongan. So, any little spelling change that we have with poner, we have that G in there. We have lots of other verbs like that in the yo form, like venir, tener, and there are others that are just not coming to mind right now. But we go to the yo form of the verb. So if we have a stem change, if we have something like that, we'll include it. If we have the letter G, like we do in poner, we'll include that as well. So poner So ponga la mesa o pongan la mesa. Let's try another. Read the book. Read the book. Kiari?
Some of our IRUs are really messed up, so Lauren wanted to answer. So she's going to talk on my IRU. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
Hello.
The aliens didn't get you?
No, they didn't.
I don't know if you can hear the sound your IRU is making, but it's like woo, 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 woo. You probably heard it, but okay, go ahead.
Leah, el libro, and Leah, el libro, and Leon, el libro.
Excelente. And I know it looks funny, you know, lean, you're thinking cut of meat here, but lean, since we have to say each of our vowels separately. And they're both strong vowels. So, lea usted el libro. Read the book. O lean ustedes el libro. Because the yo form of the verb is just leo, L-E-O. We take off that O, add the opposite ending. Lea, lean. Número 4. Now you're saying, where are you getting this number 4? I just numbered them. They didn't have to be numbered. And it's not corresponding to anything that you have. So you just have to watch the slide for these. Llevar is our infinitive. Los cuadernos en su mochila. Mochila, backpack. Go ahead, Austin.
Lleve and lleven.
Perfecto. Lleve los cuadernos en su mochila o lleven. So that one's pretty regular, nothing extra to consider there. Lleve, lleven. Ahora el verbo escribir. Now I am looking for volunteers, but I will come to get you, even if you don't volunteer, because I want to make sure everyone understands. Maybe I can hunt down that 39% of you who said you didn't know the opposite ending. So let's go ahead and I'll go to Claire.
Escriba and escriban.
Perfecto. Escriba 7 oraciones en tu papel o escriban. Escriba o escriban. Ahora el verbo abrir. Abrir. Las puertas del carro. Las puertas del carro. Go ahead, please. Melly. Or possibly not Melly. Nope, not Melly. No connection. Justin?
Abran las puertas de carro.
Fantastico. Abra. It has nothing to do with the abracadabra. Nothing like that. But abra o abran. Abra las puertas del carro o abran, depending on the command you'd like to give. Ahora el verbo cerrar. Cerrar. Do you keep any stem changes in mind? Hint, hint, wink, wink. Cerrar las ventanas en la clase. Okay, let's see if we can get a connection with the Drew. Cerrar.
Sare and saren.
Okay, this one does have a stem change. E to what letters?
Tai.
E to IE. So it would be what?
Cierre and cierre, cierren.
Okay, cierre. Muy bien. Y cierren. Cierre, cierren. So E to IE stem change it. Yo cierro la puerta a mi habitación, whatever. So it does have the E to IE changed, so cierre, cierren. Let's try another. Obedecer. Obedecer. How about Rebecca?
Obedece. Obedecan.
This one is another one that has a little change in it. Let me tell you the change and then see if you can tell me what the command would be. In the yo form, yo obedezco, we'll have Z, C, O as our ending in the yo form.
Obedezca. Obedezcan.
Excelente. That's another thing you may want to jot down. Oh yeah, those verbs that have that funny little spelling there. Obedecer. Yo obedezco siempre a mis padres. Obedezca, obedezcan. As Rebecca said, we keep our ZC. Of course, we drop the O from the yo form, add the opposite ending. Obedecer termina en ER. Entonces vamos a usar la A. Obedezca, obedezcan. Tenemos dos más. Venir. El verbo venir. Come to school with me. Okay, we'll go to Melly for this one.
Vena and venan.
Venir will be just like tener in the yo form. Yo tengo que whatever. So venir will conjugate just like that in the yo. And then you can go from there.
Venga and vengas.
Okay, instead of the S though, we'll just have an N, which you may have meant to say that. Venga, vengan. Venga, vengan. The yo form is vengo. So that one's like poner, pongo, tener, tengo, venir, vengo. And here's one more, pensar. Jordan, we're coming to you next. Pensar antes de responder.
Pense antes de responder and pensen antes de responder. And everybody in our class says we don't hear the alien noises that you hear.
Oh, really? So you guys just think I'm losing it or something. No, but really, I did hear them. Yeah, Mrs. Smith heard them too, so we're safe. I'm glad you don't hear them though. I don't know, maybe no one else does, but I'm hearing these wee alien noises, so it's interesting. Pensar is an E to IE stem changing verb. So since it's E to IE, yo pienso que, I think that, whatever. So pensar, E to IE. With that in mind, we will use the E, like you said, but we'll have the IE in the stem. Usted piense, ustedes piensen. Piense, piensen. To this point, do you have any questions for me? I'll clear the hands for a minute. There's plenty more practice, so you can put them up shortly. But I'd like to know if there are any questions up until this point. If the 39% of you would like to come forward and confess now, if you don't understand something, perhaps you do now that we've practiced some of them. If you're not understanding the stem changing issue, the irregular yo forms, something like that. Feel free to ask. ¿Hay preguntas? Okay, well, you let me know if there are any. Let's see. Do you remember the cars go zoom verbs? Anyone remember those? Cars go zoom verbs. You may remember they have absolutely nothing to do with automobiles that can drive very, very quickly. Nothing at all. Cars go zoom verbs. I refer to those as those verbs that end in CAR, GAR, and ZAR. And 30% of you remember those. Not getting too close to 100 today, but we'll review these a little bit. We use the cars go zoom verbs in the preterite tense, but we're going to use them again with the imperativo. It's pretty much the same rule. It's the spelling issue that we have to keep in mind. Since we're adding an opposite ending, we're going to have some of those consonants that can become soft. Remember your C, your G, our Z to C change. We are going to see those again. So cars go zoom verbs are popping up with the imperativo. Our C in our infinitive, our imperative, the imperativo, our C from the CAR ending will change to QUE. Now we can go as far as to add the E now because the cars go zoom verbs all end in AR. And since it's going to be in the imperative form, we need the opposite ending. So with the pretérito, you learned that C will change to QU. And we're not going against that. You learned that G would change to GU and that Z would change to C. But since with the imperative, these are AR, AR, AR verbs, the opposite ending would be this letter. These would then be for the usted. If you want to make them into ustedes endings, one little letter is added, and there you have it. Does this make sense? Press your signal buttons. If you say, I'm following you, so far so good. C changes to QU in order to preserve the pronunciation, to keep it a hard C. The G changes to GU. Z changes to C. And then we have the letter E on the end because that's the opposite ending. Okay, just out of curiosity, if you are conscious in class today and you're there and you're not in the bathroom and you're not buying your lunch already, press your signal button. If you're alive, breathing, well, conscious, I just want to see if everyone's actually here who's logged in. Okay, and evidently not. So cars go zoom verbs, that's what we're dealing with here. The QUE, GUE, CE. Vamos a practicar ahora. Por ejemplo, vamos a empezar aquí con el verbo tocar. You see we have cars go zoom verbs, CAR, GAR, ZAR verbs. Tocar. We'll go to the yo, take off the O, add the opposite ending. We can still follow the little jingle. But we have to remember now, when we go to the yo form, we have what? Yo toco. Toco. That's fine. Let me write that for you. Go to the yo, we have toco. Take off the O, we're left with TOC, add the opposite ending. Well, normally we would add the letter E for the opposite ending, but we would say this, tose. Tocar has a hard K sound in the infinitive. So this is on our X list. We're not going to do that. So what do we have to do now? Well, we just had TOC, but in the imperative with cars go zoom verbs, the C changes to QU. Well, let's make this into a Q, U. Now we can add the E. Toque la guitarra, por favor. If you were to say all of you, you had a whole big group of people ready to play the guitar together. Toquen sus guitarras, por favor. This is how this works. The C changes to QU. And then you add your opposite ending. So tocar would be toque. What about the verb pagar? Let's follow the same steps. Go to the yo. Yo pago. Take off the O, add the opposite ending. And what would we have? Justin.
Pague.
Okay. P-A-G-U-E. Pague. Pague. The G will change to G-U in order to preserve the pronunciation. If we had not added the U, we would have P-A-G-E. That would be said paje. G before an I or an E is soft. So pague. Pague with the G-U. Ahora avanzar. Avanzar would be what? Ryan?
Avance.
Perfecto. Avance. Avance. Z changes to C, and then the opposite ending is the letter E. Tocar. Toque. Pagar. Pague. Avanzar. Avance. To make them in the ustedes form, here goes. Toquen. Paguen. Avancen. Toquen. Paguen. Paguen. Avancen. Let's try a little more practice with that to make sure we have these down well. Here are several verbs so you can think about them as you go, and when I call on you, you won't feel like you're being put on the spot. But I'm going to go to a variety of people here. First of all, glorificar. Notice all of the verbs here are cars go zoom verbs, meaning that they end in C-A-R, G-A-R, Z-A-R. Glorificar. Well, we're doing just usted commands right now. So the yo form would be what? Glorifico. And if you were to give a command to someone with glorificar, it would be what? Melly?
Glorifique.
Glorifique. Perfecto. So we have the C to QU and add our opposite ending with the A. If you want to jot these down just for reference, feel free to do so. Empezar, if you were to say to someone, begin or start, what would it be? Tyler?
Empieza.
What is the yo form? If you were to say, I begin. Yo. Okay. Empezar and comenzar will have an E to IE stem change. And then you'll have your answer correct. Empiece. Perfecto. Gracias. Empiece. Porque la forma yo es yo empiezo o yo comienzo, that E to IE stem change. So, empiece. Glorifique, empiece, ahora jugar. Okay, let's go to KC.
Juegue. Juegue.
Juegue. Juegue. You. This verb jugar is the only U to UE stem changer that we have in Spanish. Juegue. So, yo juego al baloncesto, por ejemplo. Yo juego al baloncesto. We have the U to UE and then the opposite ending. But we have to add the U after the G just so it doesn't sound like juegue. That would sound really funny. So, juegue. That U will be added. Excelente. Juegue. Ahora rogar. Rogar. This verb means to beg, and there is a stem change. But with that in mind, it's an O, so what would the basically only stem change be? And I'm glad to see that, well, okay, to say hands went up then, that's good. And say, oh, I don't want to try that one. Okay, go ahead, Justin.
Ruegue.
Muy bien. Ruegue. Ruegue. That's kind of a harder one. And I don't know that you'll be using that verb really too often in your life in that form. Maybe in other forms, but probably not in a command form telling someone to beg. Beg! This food looks good to you? Beg! No. Ruegue. If you ever need it, now you know though. ruegue. Abrazar. Abrazar. To hug. Austin?
Abrace.
Abrace. Muy bien. Abrace. Y buscar. Claire?
Busque.
Busque. Perfecto. So those are the cars go zoom verbs. And as I said, let me know if you have any questions along the way. I don't want to keep hounding you if you don't have any questions. We'll just keep going. So glorifique, empiece, juegue, ruegue, abrace, busque. There are some more verbs that we need to look at. On your on page 105 in your text, they have some called el imperativo irregular, that section. You notice the cars go zoom verbs, we talked about that, but then a little further down, we have a little break in the page, and then we have some other verbs. And they look quite like these. In fact, they're the same ones. Dar, ir, ser, estar. Dar, ir, ser, estar. And we could even add one more to this that's not on there, so I will go ahead and do that. That is the verb saber, and it would be sepa for an usted form. If you were to talk to someone, know this information. Saber, sepa or sepan for the ustedes. Sepa or sepan, and I'll leave that up there for a minute. Dar. Aquí tenemos las formas. Dar, we have de. Why do you suppose this has an accent mark on it? Why would de have an accent mark on it, do you suppose? Okay, let everyone put their hands down who doesn't know. What do you think? Now, you could come up with the answer to this. I know you could. If I were to have $1 million to give you, which I'm sorry, but your life depended on it here. De. Why would this have an accent mark on it? To distinguish it from what else, do you suppose? Okay, Kiari?
Because otherwise it'll have a different meaning. And the buttons on our IRUs keep freezing. Is there anything we can do about that?
Warm them up.
No, like for real.
I'm sorry. It's Friday. I'm being terrible. I apologize. I don't know right now. The only thing I could think of is perhaps an engineer might be able to help. If your facilitator were to call the 1-800 number, that's the only thing I can think of. I'm not sure why that's happening. Okay, good answer. To distinguish it from another word, what do you think that other word is? Sometimes we have accent marks just to tell one word from another for no other reason. Not that it really needs it, but just to distinguish, like C and C. C with an accent mark is yes. C without is if. So would you like to go? C, no accent mark. If what? Would you like to go or not? Más and más. Más with is more. Más without is but. So it just depends. What do you think they would be distinguishing between? That I'm not getting the other word right now. De compared to what other word? Ryan?
So we can tell the difference between this verb and the day we use for from and possession?
Exactly. The de. El perro es de Tomás. This, that is give. Give it to someone. The other day, of, from, showing possession. Excelente. Okay, ir. That would be vaya. Ser would be sea. And estar would be esté. And with this accent mark, there's a meaning with this as well. You may remember with your demonstratives. See, I think you're just giving me a little too much information here, Mrs. Saldivar. There's so many things. But this differentiates between your demonstrative pronoun, este, este, be, or este. This one right here. And that's why we have those accent marks. So they are significant. They do have meaning. And I'm not just trying to punish you by telling you such detailed things. If we make it plural, we no longer need the accent mark because den is den, and it's not going to be confused with den because den is to give. En ustedes command. Vayan, sean, estén. That one will keep it. Whew. Okay, deep breath. Here we go. So, den, vayan, sean, estén. There are a couple other little things that we have to remember with the imperativo. Some little spelling things. Let me show you a couple of examples. Dirigir, to direct. If on this one we go to the yo form, take off the O, add the opposite ending, dirigir has a soft G because of the letter I that follows it. And by now you could probably say the rule with me. A G before an I or an E is a soft G. G before I or E. That's why it's dirigir, not dirigir. So, dirigir. We go to the yo form of it, and it would be what? Yo diri. If we kept the G, it would be dirigo. But dirigir has a soft G. We want to keep the same soft G over here as we had over here in our infinitive. The G will change to what letter do you suppose? In order to make it sound like this sound, dirigir. What letter has the H sound in Spanish? Diri. Okay, Drew?
A J.
Exactly. So we had dirigir, we'll do dirijo. At this point, there's the yo form. Go to the yo, take off the O, add the opposite ending. We'll still follow that little jingle. Go to the yo, take off the O, add the opposite ending. So this is what we'll have. Dirija. Escoger. Same thing. Escoja. Construir. We will add a Y. Huir, meaning to flee, as in run away, to flee, will have a Y as well. The UIR verbs. So, dirija, escoja, construya, huya. Well, we have a weekend coming, so that will give you a little extra time to soak those things in. What I'd like for you to try to do for homework is this. Pages 105 and 106 have some imperatives, translation, so it's activities 2 and 3. Pages 105, 106. That's what I'd like for you to try this weekend. There is a quiz on your schedule for Monday. We will have the quiz on Tuesday. So the next quiz will be on Tuesday, and then we'll have our normal vocab quiz on Wednesday. So keep that in mind. So you have plenty of things to study over the weekend. Make sure you get this homework done. And again, our quiz on the imperatives will be on Tuesday. That's when you can expect that. So we'll cover this homework and do some other exercises as well. Okay, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you back on Monday. Hasta luego.